Hello, Final Stand people. So, there's a lot of videos are going around that the game is dying, and that's to come because honestly, speaking around the fact that there's a soft cap and a hard cap, soft cap being level 95 and hard cap being level 945. Sorry, I'm currently level 153 as a human. Yes, I have Mystic. Currently trying to get Kaioken mastered because once I get it mastered, it lasts for like 10 or 12 seconds. Anyways, I'm getting off track. The point being is like people will hit level maybe like 100. Like they'll get level 95, then they'll push the extra mile to get level 100 and get their second forms like I did. Kaioken times 4, right? And that's a huge power because especially for like Saiyans, majority of the player base is Saiyans. They get level, or they get Super Saiyan 2, and then they get like a passive, right? Which, extra melee scaling, and then extra attack speed, and then blah blah blah, whatever. And then they can really wait until Namek comes out to get Super Saiyan 3. They don't need to do all that. And leveling up past level 95 is already hard as it is. So they don't want to push the extra mile, so then they're like, okay, December's only a month away, and Namek is dropping in December, whether it be December 1st or December 31st. I don't really know what their plan is for that whole drop, but honestly, I'm already halfway to being level 200, which is for space, and I'm definitely gonna be playing Namek throughout until whatever the level cap is. I've stopped leveling past level 153 because I've simply been wanting to get bounties, and I finally got Stardust Fall a couple days ago, but it's like one of the worst moves in the game. The damage is good, but it has no auto lock on, and generally it kind of sucks, right? So I don't really want to pour my time into leveling this up, even though it's like you'd have to do 50 bounties for it. So I'm gonna go through this dungeon real quick. I'm gonna try to do a solo, and we're just gonna be talking about the state of the game and what steps need to be taken, because honestly, I've been playing this game since it first came out. I was playing Roblox on the Xbox, and I didn't really have anything else to play, because if you played Roblox on the Xbox, it was kind of boring, right? And the boring part is that you only had like maybe jailbreak and cops and robbers and whatnot. Let me turn my video down. Sorry. You only had cops and robbers, and then what else? You had this game. So this is really the only game I played. I did have different slots, but only till like after, like, I think I played whenever Space came out. Like that's whenever it showed up, and maybe that's whenever console compatibility came out. And speaking about that, I love the game, right? It's I always wanted like a Dragon Ball MMO, and this is the type of game that kind of fits that description. And I'm gonna talk about replayability in this game real quick. It's no Deep Woken, right? You're not gonna keep on making new slots, try different builds and whatnot, because really the only builds in this game are melee and key. There is no more mantra or whatever, and obviously there's a difference between like races and like the certain stat boost, but like there's really like a hierarchy of races, like Saiyans get their forms, they're the best PvE race or whatnot. That might not be true. I think it's honestly either Majins or Namekians, because they're always they've been busted since the start. It's the same as Saiyans. And I'm not trying to be different by choosing humans and whatnot, but I like Mystic. So, and I finally got it. I'm glad I did, because this form is sick. But having to use Kaioken up until now, it kind of did suck a little bit. Oh, this guy's kind of built ass on me. Okay. A nice shot. If you do get it, it's really good. I have it 2-star or 2-star, like halfway basically to perfected. back to what I was saying, is that the races and the different type of builds in this game only vary in key and melee. And, you know, granted, there's race skills, you know, Gum Gum Barrage, but like half of the fucking races in this game get Gum Gum Pistol, right? I mean, I guess it wouldn't make sense for humans to get it, but even then, it's just still just the factor of like, there's no, like, if you're basically going to be playing the game on a different race, you're basically either going to be doing more damage with your melee or key moves that everybody really has access to, right? Okay, I might need to charge it up a little bit here. I don't want to use my Zenkai yet. Okay. This guy went... Oh, I can't... I hate how you can't move sometimes. It's super annoying. I don't have the right capsules on either. Okay. Wow. How to get jumped in 2025. Anyways, we're gonna be trying to solo Boo now. So back to what I was saying. The entire issue with this game is there's no replayability, so people are getting to the level 100 cap or soft cap and then just dipping until Mimic appears, and that's why the game is at a current downfall right now. Granted, you could do raids, you know, you could farm like in-game, quote-unquote in-game content, even though we're on Earth right now. It's not really in-game, but in-game as of right now. And the only reason I've been playing is because Roblox is dry, right? I'm not the one to play Forsaken or, you know, whatever drops, like, you know, Pocket Anime also dropped, but like, I'm not doing that, right? And like, I've always had a thing for Final Stand, you know, it's Dragon Ball. I like Dragon Ball. And just Dragon Ball Online Generations did come out with the update, but I never liked the combat. That combat has never changed since like, maybe I might be wrong, but it's never changed since like 2017 and whatnot. And it's just very like, I don't know. It's just very, very weird. That's another thing about these raid bosses. It's just very like repetitive. Like, you can get good, but like some of these are just like maybe just a little too strong for like the normal player and whatnot. And you just for different races, there's like you're playing a losing game if you pick like Cyberman or like human or like whatever, because progression is just going to be objectively harder. Because, you know, for Kaioken, granted, it does give you a good boost, and it's actually a multiplier. It's not a base like 50% like stats like Super Saiyan is, but even then, you lose HP, so you can't really use it in raids. Granted, like if you have the Zenkai up, you won't lose HP, but it lasts for how many seconds? Not a lot. Not a lot at all. I mean, if you master it, sure, like I'll give you that. But then what's the point? What's the point if you could just choose like Namekian? You get a free revive, you get 2 different forms, you get giant, and then okay, I'm not using the skill anymore. Strong kick, I guess. You see him in the rush, block that. Kamehameha. Look, it turned into candy. You're gonna explode everywhere. Charge up some key here. Like that. Yeah, I guess not. Block this. Okay, Kamehameha. It's not gonna reach me. He's gonna rush again, I think. Oh. Alright. This is some good time. Where are you running? Okay, I think that's BS though, how he did that. Oh my god. Come on. And we soloed that for a title. We soloed that for a title. And here, this is another thing about this game. If you solo a raid, like, I like how they implemented the entire, like, you know, if you get a lot of more points, you know, or you have to get a certain amount of points to get a drop, or like it's the same thing for the world bosses. Sometimes it's annoying because, you know, key builds get most out of it because they can hit one beam and do 1,000,000 damage. I don't know, freeze race, but like the thing about it is there is no like pity system, and I could solo him maybe 10 more times and not get what I'm looking for, or you know, I already got Ghost Kamikaze. Already got Ghost Kamikaze attack, one of the best drops from him, and I didn't even use it that entire fight because honestly it's kind of buns. I'm gonna go over here and show you what damage it does real quick. Alright, this evil Majin right here, look at that. Look at that. One of the best drops for some buku damage. One of my M1s did more than that. So like, I know it's an assist and whatnot, right? But like, it's from one of the hardest races. At least, just, I mean, maybe even level like Sane can solo it if they know what to do, right? But the point of the fact is just like some of these assists or things that you're grinding for is just not worth it. Like, I think the best assist in the game is the Go Tanks one, right? You know, who doesn't use that? I mean, I don't have it because I've soloed Go Tanks 2 times already and I haven't got it. And that goes back to what I was saying. If you solo it, the chances should be higher of whatever, like, granted, you shouldn't pick what you want to have a higher chance, but like, you should have a higher drop rate, or if you already have it, then maybe get that, like, have a less chance of being in the pool drop, you know? Because I'm getting Sensu beans constantly from, you know, it's fine if from Trunks raid and whatnot, because, you know, he can only offer so much, right? And then the only other thing you can get is Dragon Ball, right? I mean, if you had a pity for Dragon Ball, that'd be kind of crazy, right? But that goes for saying the Babidi dungeon, the Go Tanks one. You know, if you solo him, you know, six, seven or more times, you know, you're not gonna get what you want. And like, and it goes on a 4-hour cooldown, right? And then if you're at my level, it gives buku fucking experience. I just soloed the entire raid and I got basically no Zenny. Granted, I got once. I didn't even get a Sentu beam because I got a title. Let me see the title. And then dumbass title by Candy Monster? Who was the title for Candy Monster, bro? Like, maybe if there were special titles, like if you solo the raid and whatnot, or, you know, if you solo the snow raid, props to you, bro. Like, the snow raid is definitely hard because he just be backflipping, instant transmission, and he just be doing whatever, right? If you solo that, you should definitely get something. You know, I already have reversal capsule from jumping him and whatnot, but the grind that I had to do to get to this point, to be able to do the things like, you know, to solo these raids and whatnot, it just doesn't feel like it's worth. And like, I just caught up to the people, like, I just caught up to maybe like a level 100 Saiyan that I just got Super Saiyan 2 that already has more stats in my base form, in their base form. I know they get, you know, I think it's 1 stat every 2 levels, or if it's every 3, so they kind of need the forms, and the key drain is kind of ridiculous. But like, you have 50, basically 100 in every single other stat, so you have obviously more resistance, more speed, more melee, more key. So you're like an all-rounded, but I had to pour all my points into melee. And all my points into melee. And granted, it is strong whenever I do activate my forms. You know, this is Kaioken times 1. And if I get this mastered, it's kind of going to be crazy because I'm going to have it for 10 or more seconds. But then, you know, Kaioken times 2 takes a higher bunch. And then I'm just still losing HP in the dungeon. In the dungeon where you have a certain max HP threshold. Granted, you can use it in PvE and whatnot, but if... Here's another thing I want to talk about. I'm going to do a bounty real quick. If I'm going into a bounty and my target is with one or two more people, that being said, if you know, if he's about to do RR raid, Red Ribbon raid, or you know, Bobbity raid, all of them are gonna jump me. I'm gonna insert a clip right here. Right? That was bullshit. Right? Granted, I could leave the game. My plan was I can maybe go in there, act like I was gonna do the raid, but then I kind of forgot halfway through that it gives a signal that it says, you know, hostile power level detected, and it shows where I'm coming from. So if I'm already coming from that direction, they're gonna all look at me like, what the fuck, bro? And they're gonna jump my ass, right? I mean, I would too, you know, from, you know, if somebody got a bounty hunted in my raid, but like, still, the point is, I think that there should be maybe a resistance to other players. That being maybe a 30% more resistance, or like you don't take stun from those other players, or like just something to implement the fact, because even in a 1v2, if you're fighting two level 120 players, maybe as a Saiyan, right? Because I fight in my base form until I get my Zenkai, right? I get really low HP, then I use my Zenkai, I get full HP, I have my resistances and whatnot. But then again, it doesn't stop the fact that one is spamming Sudden Storm on me, one is spamming Super Kamehameha or auto-tracking beams on me, while the other one is frying my shit because I'm trying to block all the damage and coming towards me. And even if I have this capsule, energy field capsule, take less damage, granted, it does help a lot, but it only stops the inevitable from coming, right? So I feel like there should be something in place for bounties, and you know, you can use this counter to scout out the area. You know, if he's two people, you know, you can maybe hop in with your form, but like you're not using your kit viable enough, right? And I think saying like, obviously I'm probably stronger than a base level 153 Saiyan right now, but he could just pop Super Saiyan 2 and be automatically stronger than me, and I can maybe rival him in my mystic power. But guess what? He has a passive in his form. Even Super Saiyan 3 has a passive in his form. Granted, the key drain, I mean, I can agree that key drain is kind of ridiculous, right? But even then, it's still like, I don't know, I feel like there should be a passive to Mystic. You know, we went through everything, all these levels and whatnot, just to get a standard form that Super Saiyans get a level 50, that Namekians get a level whatever, I don't really care enough. Majins get a form, like, and I don't want to hear it, because Majins, they can absorb the Yeti and be the strongest person ever, right? And I've had that happen to me a few times. I'm bounty humming a Majin. He goes right over to Uzanabe Heights, beats up a Yeti real quick, and absorbs him. And he has a power level 160,000. Granted, he loses it over time, but I'm fighting in my base so I can get the most potential out of my Zenkai. He puts me one combo, and I genuinely get one-tapped. And you can't pop Sensus and bounties, and I respect that idea, because if you're able to pop bounties, that'd be kind of glazed, right? But if I'm getting attacked by 3 people in a bounty, and I can't even, like, and the person I'm fighting or trying to kill is running away, I can't kill him, then still be in the server and pop my Sensus, because if you finish the mission, if it says mission success, you could pop Sensus, but it doesn't change the fact that you're still getting jumped and it keeping you in combat. So then whenever the person you killed rolls back to the 2 people that are just constantly key spamming and sudden storming you, he's just gonna come back, and then you're gonna lose more from what you gained, right? And I feel like if you finish the mission, it should instantly teleport you back. There should be no way for the combat tag to be over, because then I'm constantly running away on my low ass key in my mystic form, one tap. I don't want to pop a Sensu for the battle I've already finished and won. I'm running away from 2 different people, and maybe to survive, yeah, but the combat tag is still going to be there. I'm only like stopping the inevitable from coming. So to me, it doesn't really make sense how bounties are fair. And I've genuinely spent the entire day 2 days ago farming bounties, from getting explosive strike or explosive flash strike, and then to getting Zenny Bang capsule. Granted, you can wear that capsule to reduce the amount of Zenny, but genuinely I was farming in these bounties with no EXP, with no Zenny. I had maybe $5 to my name, right? And that's why I have so little right now, because I'm still recovering, right? And I'm not gonna do these raids or whenever to try to hit max level. I'm only gonna do that whenever Namek comes out, because then I actually have a reason and a usable outsource to get these waves of XP. And I've already got my final form. You know, all I can do now is perfect my moves and maybe perfect Kaioken times 2, times 1, and times 4. And then I guess I could farm for the Dragon Balls, but like genuinely, I haven't found a single one, and I maybe like from level 100 or from level 95 all the way to level 153, I haven't got a single Dragon Ball drop ever. As you can see, I don't have the Dragon Ball bag, and I know it's a very low chance to drop, but others have gotten it. There's no pity. There's no... I know I said there shouldn't be no pity, but over time, there should be some sense, because if you don't have a Dragon Radar, you're genuinely not getting a Dragon Ball. You're not getting Shenron's Wish. And in Dragon Ball Online Generations, granted, that's an entirely different game, and and even in the OG... Oh, shit. Okay. Even in the OG, it was still like nobody summoned Shenron, but like this is a new era. People, like, you can look on YouTube, somebody perfected Kaioken times 4, and that's the most broken shit ever, right? So like it just doesn't make sense to me, bro. Wait, I think. Oh, yep. Hey, stop that shit. Stop that shit. Why are you running away from me? Did you just combat log? I think he genuinely just got combat logged, unless he got like a bingo book bounty. I'm not sure. But anyways, guess what? I didn't get any from that. I know it said target got away, but I definitely hit his ass. He definitely blocked one of my punches. That should, you know, definitely tag somebody. And I don't know what else to say about this game, right? It's dying because Namek isn't coming out. Dragon Ball Legends is having its phase, and that's fair, right? You know, the game hasn't been updated in forever, so I've heard. But Dragon Balls need to be more accessible. And like, I know they're supposed to be rare. I know they're blah blah blah. And like, the game just came out, I guess, a month ago. But the fact of the matter is if you're doing so many raids to the point where you're not getting at least Dragon Ball every maybe 200 runs, then what's the point in even doing raids? Because at that point, you're going to be at my level. You know, if you finish a Gotenks raid, if you sold the Gotenks raid, you're not even gonna, you're going to get a title. You're going to get a 1 Senzu Bean. Anyways, I just think there should be more compensation, and the game has been updated in a little while. And I do want to say something about the human race. The Kaioken buff was definitely needed. You know, popping Kaioken times 4, I did not use that form. Ever. I only use that form to get the Black Flash capsule from Gojo. And even that capsule fucking sucks! That capsule sucks. It doesn't... It gives you more key max. But it's literally like maybe a 5% chance you're doing that ever. And it doesn't give you health back. And if there was a way to get more health max in a raid, like if you land a Black Flash, I feel like that should counteract that, right? Because you can only fight so many beings in there. You can only hit things so many times. You know, you could jump like I did. Run that. Flash, I didn't have the capsule on, granted, but if I have a Black Flash, I expect at least 10% of my HP getting back. I know it gives you more key max, but what does key max even do? What does key max even do if I can't even, if I don't have the HP to even use my key? Anyways, I think that's the end of this video. Thank you all for, if you stayed long enough to hear my yap session and whatnot, but like, I genuinely just want to just want to talk about and state my feelings on this game because it's honestly not a bad look, or it is a bad look for the game right now. And you know, it's dying, people are leaving, and it's just in a weird state right now. It's not dead. It is not dead. Like, you know, I can look at these servers and people are constantly doing raids. You know, whatever. I do want to talk about the world bosses, but I'll leave that in another video. You know, progression video is gonna come up real soon, so stay tuned for that. All right then, I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.